Aries.
Hello Aries, this is your forecast for May 2015, and so we've been going through those eclipses there in March and April, and now you're out on the other side. So new beginnings for you, and it's going to be exciting to see how exactly they're going to start up for you. But now here in May, we have a couple of things that we want to talk about, especially your financial situation, Aries, as you have several planets. Now you got the Sun, the new moon, and also Mars here operating for you. So this is a month for you to look over your financial situation, crunch numbers, look at new ways that you could possibly create new income streams. Now this is going to be a little bit exciting for you here because they are passing through the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is always very good with money. They're conscious of great values, so this could be you also obtaining something new that you might be purchasing this month. Getting something at a great price to good value. So see how that works for you. We also have that new moon, and that is when we place our intentions. And so here for you, the new moon is going to be 18 degrees in Taurus. And this is when we want to write that check to ourselves, the abundance check. More information on that on my channel to know how to do so. It's by the law of attraction how we put our intentions out there and how it can attract to you by the end of this period. So, but also it is for you to put down intentions here, since it is your second house for money and income. You have this opportunity once a year to focus on this specific section of your life. So you want to make it good, right? And keep your intentions very clear. Now Mercury has just moved in to your third house here on May 1st. So Mercury was also working within this area of your financial sector throughout that of April. But now Mercury, your linear thought of thought processing, is moving into the area of communication. So you're going to see how this month here, communication is definitely going to take an upswing for you. You're going to be able to bring those things that you've been carrying close to heart out, have those discussions that are important, maybe either between you and your partner, or the third house also is your community that's around you in the area where you live. It could be neighbors, but it could also be siblings. And third house is also travel, so you might just come to see how this could also up itself for you throughout May. Now those travels may not necessarily be those long distance out of the country type vacations, but it is a time for you to get out and about a little bit more. A road trip will really act very healing on you, just to renew your energies and your inspiration. Mercury in Gemini, it's home. Mercury rules Gemini. So it's specifically strong here for you. And here at 0 degrees, it's just starting its journey. So you're going to have the whole entire month to act upon this. Venus this month here for you is also in Gemini, 22 degrees as we start off the month, so it's going to move into Cancer here a little bit later. But what that does, the way to integrate Venus, which is love, is to, once again, Gemini, right, is to communicate your feelings. Do this, if you're listening early to this video, do this as much as you can here on the April end, because when you get into May, you only have a certain amount of time to really get those things off your chest, or to open up for new love, communicate it, pursue it. And some of you might even meet your loved one on a journey here this month. Then later, Venus is going to move into Cancer. Now this is more of a deepening. It's not just the intellectual communication of love, but it's more that what is heartfelt. Cancer is very sensitive, so you will be picking up a little bit more on your own intuition, as we pass through Cancer. And Venus in this sign is all about family, it's about love, it's about children, it's about pets, those things that we really care for. And you're going to see how you're going to be expressing this energy here in May, and also see it coming perhaps from your partner, as of course, he or she also is going to have Venus in Cancer. Now, we have Mars, and Mars is dynamic action. It is those goals that you hold for yourself, and it being in Taurus here, at least as we start off the month, and for the first few days, the first week or so, is really wanting to hone in on what you're worth, okay? And you're standing up for what you're worth. You're able to pinpoint it. It's a good time for you to ask for a raise if it's not already yet being offered to you. It's a time to not hold back, because you know that you are driven now as far as this goes. And every once in 2 years does Mars visit this area. So you want to kind of complete it. It's been there in April for you. You still have a shot at it here in May. So whatever you can do to drive your finances forward and your income forward, good for you. Now, Taurus is also, like I said, about being passionate about those things, the good quality of life, the things that you purchase. Mars might be out there looking for a larger item where you can place or invest money. So let's take a look at the retrogrades we got going on. Mercury is going to retrograde again on us. Depending on where you live, it'll be the 18th or 19th of May, and it will remain there to the 11th or 12th there of June. And the retrograde here will go back into your income house. It's starting off here until the 18th in your house of communication and travel and anything that has to do with documents, signatures, and so forth. But then as it retrogrades, it will be moving back. So, it's not a time to sign any contracts under that retrograde. Now, Saturn is going to be retrograde until that of August 2nd. And for you, Saturn is in your 9th house for higher education, maybe schools, taking on classes, the law, anything within jurisdictions will be here. And it's also you finding your strength, your sense of know-how and mastery within this area. The 9th house is also long-distance travel, foreign people, places, and so forth, and also that of philosophy and religion. So you might come to see here that you're questioning yourself. Where are you on the path as far as your own inner spiritual growth? It's a time to download, to digest, to figure these things out, because once we get into August, well, then you're going to be moving forward upon these issues. If there is a delay, say that you have a lawsuit going on, since Saturn is in this house, you might find that things are, maybe disappointingly, going to be a little delayed, but for a higher reason though, which will only be evident for you in the aftermath. So expect things to pick up there in August as well. We got Pluto retrograde here now, and that will be until September 25th. And Pluto for you is your career house. This is the time where Pluto is trying to have you look back at and hone in on your skills, what you have achieved thus far over these last few years. And you may vacillate a little bit as far as your career goes. It's more like I see you asking yourself, is this what I truly want to do? And if so, what do I need to do in order to refine it? And for others, if you're coming to this stalemate where you're feeling that your job or your career is closing in on you, stifling you, well then Pluto is asking you to be prepared for transformation. That transformation will be coming in here after, the end of September. So this month, I feel we're going to have, yes, a sense and a feeling of the new beginnings that these two eclipses has brought to our attention. But it's also a month for you to make some major decisions now. Why? Well, when new beginnings come in, we might still have to look at what it is we want and make our decisions accordingly. So starting off here, top of the month, on the 3rd, we have Mercury and Saturn opposing one and each other, and so that is you thinking, do I want this or do I not? And it's between the houses here of your 3rd and 9th house, so it's within communication, studies, schooling, higher education, or also travel, needing to make a major decision there. Now this is going to linger into the 4th as the Sun and Jupiter are trying to figure it out. The Sun is you and Jupiter wants you to expand, but within those regions, only that behooves you, not that takes away from you. So it's all good. On the 6th, if you haven't made or arrived at your decision quite yet, there, Aries, on the 6th, I think you know exactly what it is you're wanting to do, planning to do, and then taking action on it. The Sun and Pluto are meeting up in a beautiful trine where Pluto is going to be giving you all this energy in between that I am feeling that you have. Your will is totally aligned. Both the Sun and Pluto rules the will, right? So then we have, again, new things to be looked at, contemplated, made decisions upon again. And this has to do with Mercury and Neptune. Now, Neptune is hopes, dreams, wishes, and so forth, but we have to be aware. Are they just, air castles, that kind of dreams? Or are they really rooted and grounded wishes or determinations as far as what it is you're setting out to do? Because there might be something here that might be a little bubble that bursts on this day. However, though, I don't really see that it has a major impact quite yet, because on the 16th, that is going to give you even more insight. So kind of hang a little loose. Wait without waiting is maybe a key word to follow. On the 15th, though, Mars and Saturn, they're opposing one another. Mars is your drive, your action, your direction, your wanting to get ahead, stimulating that desire. And Saturn's on the other end here. And remember, Saturn is your mentor. It's your higher mentor, your inner self of knowledge and so forth. So if you're finding yourself up against either yourself or a situation, and it could be externally projected to, that it could come through a male or a person in government, so to speak, because Saturn rules government, even when we're governing our higher self. So in that, it's all about asking you direction. It's more like a yellow light. It's not necessarily a red light, see? It's a yellow light. You're going to halt and say, okay, if I go this direction, what will the outcome be? That's what Saturn wants you to look at. So you don't just jump. Sometimes when we have great aspects with Jupiter, we get so happy-go-lucky that we're like the fool jumping off the cliff and thinking that we can land softly and gently as if we had a parachute, right? We don't think consequences. We just want to act. Saturn's more cautious. It's saying, okay, if you do this, what is the likely outcome? So if you can live with the outcome, then go for it. If you're seeing that, well, that yellow light is going to turn to red, not to green, well, then it's time to consider that too, okay? So we need these little adjustments every once in a while. So Venus and Neptune are having a beautiful run-in with each other here on the 16th. It's a time to really set off on the calendar for a romantic dinner date, or also for you who are single, you might come to meet somebody here on the 16th. Venus rules love and romance, and Neptune is the higher octave of that Venus, making it even more beautiful and otherworldly. And also it rules money, Venus does. So here you might purchase a beautiful thing that really feels healing to you. Just looking at a beautiful piece of art can be very healing as well, right? So on the 22nd, this very Venus will then come to oppose Pluto, and Pluto is all about transformation. It's also desire. And so Pluto here is going to transform what it is you feel about a certain situation. Now, Venus will at that time be in your 4th house for home, family, foundation, those things that you value about your inner self. So this passion here may be looking or having you look at how much time do I want to spend at home, how much time do I need to spend at work. So there's a little bit, maybe even stress inflicted here between the 22nd and the 23rd because of this opposition. But then we also have the Sun and Saturn opposing one another as well. And that's going to be between your 3rd and your 9th house. So it's all about your movement between these two places. And there might be family members needing you at home. And then you might have something big going on at work needing your attention too. So I'm seeing how you're trying to stretch. Okay, so be as flexible as you can just around these few dates from the 22nd. And I'd like to say all the way through the 26th to 27th. Because not only do we have these two oppositions, but on the 25th and 26th, we got 2 squares coming in, and they're touching your personal planets as well. The first one is Venus squaring off on Uranus, and then Mars is going to be squaring off on Neptune. So you might feel that what you've been looking forward to set up, maybe you had plans for a certain direction, Uranus turns things around. So you might have to put it in a rain check or something on the 25th. And then 26th, well, Mars, the same thing. There might be another little bubble that bursts. Your hopes and your expectations that you had, your drive, your goal, which is Mars, coming up, squaring on Neptune, well, that is popping that bubble. But you know what? You're going to get back on track again. So it is what it is. And I don't see it as being any disaster. It's just about putting something off until later. And remember, Mercury is retrograde too at this time. And that might also be the reversal of some plans or some invitations or some dates that you have set up to be romantic may not be able to follow through. Or maybe it's your partner that's going to have to call off something. But it is for a reason, so don't take it personally. Just try to be flexible. You'll get back up and running again. On the 27th, I feel that, okay, now you have more to work with. It's more getting back on the same page again, making new arrangements, and then we're ending the month here, still lingering with Neptune, is really, doing tricks on us this month because both Mercury and the Sun will be squaring off here on Neptune at the very last couple of days. So this month in the overall, what have we been talking about, Aries? It's like, yes, we want to put down our intentions there with a new moon. Yes, we want to be goal-oriented and hold it. But especially for you, Aries, that are really wanting always to move ahead quickly because you're so Marsy, just be patient this month because it may not all come together here for you as expected in May, but that doesn't mean things aren't working for you behind the scenes, because that is what June is going to bring all about when these planets move out of its square and into more favorable aspects there of June. So June should be a very good month for you. More on that on the forecast for June, and I'll see you next month. And thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing and liking. See you soon. Bye now.